Hello and welcome to Isle of Man News. Here are some of the top stories from across the island. Local elections see return of former Chief Minister. On April 24th, the Isle of Man held local authority elections across 5 regions. Notably, former Chief Minister Tony Brown made a political comeback, securing a seat in Castletown. His return marks a significant moment for the island's political landscape. Rebel News. Canadian journalists Rebel News were on the island this week, investigating the alleged tax avoidance by Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada and former Governor of the Bank of England. The Prime Minister was chair of Brookfield Asset Management and allegedly has a shell company named Brookfield IOM, which is registered at a residential address in Onken. According to Rebel News, Brookfield IOM lists an 88-year-old resident, Leslie Cummins, as its sole director, with the company's registered address being Cummins' modest apartment. Rebel News suggests that Cummins serves as a straw man to obscure the company's true ownership and operations, implying that the setup is designed to minimize tax obligations in Canada by exploiting the Isle of Man's favorable tax regime. Levant criticizes Carney for engaging in what he describes as unethical tax dodging practices, especially given Carney's prominent role in global finance and his political aspirations in Canada. Cruise season set sail with Silver Endeavour. The 2025 cruise season commenced with the arrival of the Silver Endeavour on April 26th. This marks the beginning of a bustling season with over 50 cruise calls expected, potentially bringing up to 30,000 visitors and an estimated £2.6 million to the local economy, if they come ashore. Manx democracy fundamentally flawed. The island's democracy has been labelled fundamentally flawed, with critiques of the Isle of Man's political system, emphasising that while citizens elect members of the House of Keys, they have no direct say in signalling the Chief Minister or the government's overarching agenda. This structure allows for significant policy shifts, such as increased development and government spending, without prior public endorsement. The current administration under Chief Minister Alfred Cannon exemplifies this issue, as it pursues a transformative agenda not presented during the 2021 general election. The absence of political parties and a focus of local issues during elections hinder national policy debates, leaving voters without a clear mechanism to support or oppose the government's direction. This democratic deficit is further exacerbated by the lack of public influence over the selection of the Chief Minister, a process controlled solely by elected MHKs. Without systemic reforms to enhance public participation in national governance, citizens remain powerless to effect meaningful change in the island's political trajectory. Julie Edge calls for an audit. MHK for Onken Julie Edge is calling for a full audit of Manx Care, stating that our health service is too important to ignore the many red flags, including rising costs and serious patient safety concerns due to delays. Julie Edge is calling for full scrutiny and accountability, stating it's time to follow the money, perhaps taking influence from the United States' Department of Government Efficiency. Lord Street Development collapses. The Lord Street Development project in Douglas has encountered another significant setback, with the latest developer withdrawing from the project, marking the third such departure in recent years. This ongoing pattern of withdrawals has left the site in a prolonged state of disuse, raising concerns among local residents and officials about the future of the development and its impact on the community. The repeated failures to advance the Lord Street project highlight the challenges faced in revitalising this area of Douglas. Stakeholders are now calling for a reassessment of the development strategy to ensure that future plans are both feasible and beneficial to the local community. And what do you think? Why are former MHKs returning to local politics? What do you think should happen with the development of Lord Street? Do you believe Manx democracy is fundamentally flawed, or are you happy with the current system? This has been Isle of Man News, your island, your news.